The first panel will be hosted by Elaine. She's from WaterDrip Capital, and everyone is here, right? I think, except DMAC, right? DMAC have something to do, so yeah. Oh, DMAC here. Okay. Hello, DMAC. Can you hear me? Hello. DMAC, hello.
DMAC? Not me, right? I'm Matt. I'm
Hello,
not
Matt.
DMAC. Yeah.
Yes, I see. I saw DMAC, but Dan Donald. Yes, maybe he can't open his mic. Elaine, Elaine.
Oh, hello.
Elaine Yang.
Are we here?
Are you here?
Yeah, hello everyone. So this is Elaine.
Hi.
Nice to meet you guys.
Hi. I'm sorry. Hi, the
Hello?
mic. Hello. I can see you.
Can you guys not hear?
You are so professional. Yeah. Okay, and here we have Moss, right?
Matt.
I'm really
Yeah.
sorry. I'm really sorry. Okay, Jerry, are you here? Jerry?
Can you hear this?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, okay.
Hello?
Maybe we have...
Can you hear me?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Christian, are you here?
I am here.
Okay, let's start our panel. So I think, Elaine, you can start your
Test.
host.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. So, nice to meet you guys, and thanks for the PermaDAO's invitation. So firstly, let me introduce myself and our capital. So this is Elaine from WaterDrip Capital, and now that I'm taking charge of our primary market investment. So WaterDrip was founded in 2017, which was by several Bitcoin very OG investors. So nowadays we have a very important investment thesis that is to focus on the Bitcoin ecosystem. So today it's very honored to join this Bitcoin&Arweave event. And moreover, we will launch Satoshi Labs soon, which will help to build up the Bitcoin ecosystem, and we will publish the news soon. So looking forward to it. And back to our panel today. So today's our panel's topic is the rising eco of the Web3 in Asia. So we have our guest speaker here, that is Gary from Evervision, and DMAC from Arweave, and Christian from Man Network, and Matt from Taco. So could every speaker here introduce yourself? So firstly, let me introduce Gary. Could you introduce yourself?
Yes. Thanks for having me here. I'm a CMO of Evervision, and I'm Jerry, not Gary, it's Jerry.
And, sorry.
No problem. And I have been working in the blockchain industry for 5 years. I used to work at Token, a wallet company, for 4 years before joining Evervision. And Evervision is a Web3 infrastructure provider based on the Arweave consensus, Arweave ecosystem. And our main infrastructure includes the payment protocol, Apple Pay, and a DEX, the PermaSwap, and various open source toolkit for developers to build on Arweave. And we propose ecosystem co-build DAO, PermaDAO. And the most important product among these is the Apple Pay payment protocol. The feature of this are no TPS limited, millisecond transactions, and no gas fee. These features allow Apple Pay to be used in high frequency, low cost applications that are almost non-extensive existent in Web3 application today. But this is a very important scenario for opening mass adoption. Very happy to be here and have this opportunity to discuss some topics with you guys.
Thank you, Gary. And next, maybe Dan.
Gary.
There, yeah. Dan, please.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, sorry about the technical problems at the beginning there. My name's DMAC. I've been in the Arweave ecosystem a number of years now, builder in the ecosystem. And I also contributed to some of the efforts at Forward Research in supporting updates to the protocol. Currently, I'm working on a Rust implementation of the Arweave mining software that aims to lower the barriers to entry for participating in mining, as well as broadens the incentives and giving people more reasons to mine.
Thank you, DMAC. And the next, please, Christian. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. My name is Christian. I'm on the founding team of MyNetwork.xyz. I head up BD and marketing. And MyNetwork is a zero trust layer for Web3, and as well as TradFi, built on a zero trust framework that is comprised of fully homomorphic encryption and zero knowledge proofs.
Thank you, Christian. Next, maybe Matt, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi guys. I'm Matt, Community Director of Taco. I've been investing in cryptocurrencies since about 2018. So I don't know if I'm OG enough yet for this space, but currently at Taco, we're building smart contracts for decentralized social protocols like Lens Protocol and Farcaster. So we're making it easy for promoters to promote their Web3 products in a decentralized way with the help of influencers and content curators and Lens Protocol. Most recently, we bought Jam, which was the second largest client of Farcaster, a decentralized social graph built on Optimism and notably used by Vitalik Buterin. And we're currently developing that into an all-inclusive SocialFi protocol that aggregates data from both the Lens and Farcaster Web3 social graphs into a Twitter UI UX. And we're really excited about the direction of SocialFi and the intersection of decentralized finance and decentralized social media.
Thank you, guys. So today we have 4 guest speakers here, and they are maybe from global. So today our first topic is because of the regulation problem. So nowadays the US maybe is not very welcome for the Web3 or crypto. So because since last year, so Hong Kong government is and Singapore, they are like promote the Web3 a lot, and they welcome more builders to go to Asia. So what do you guys think about what's the current status of the Web3 industry in Asia, or maybe in the area nowadays where you're based? So maybe from Jerry firstly, do you have an opinion? Yeah. Hello, Jerry, you mute yourself.
Sorry, I mute myself. Yes, and now we're based in Singapore and China mainland. Our headquarters is in Singapore. And about the ecosystem in Asia, of course, Asia with a massive population of almost 4 billion is a huge market. And the passion Asians have for crypto is off the charts. So making the perfect playground. Back in the day, China was undoubtedly the powerhouse in Asia. Now, when I was working at Token, I felt the energy of this virus vast market. Projects from all over the world are hoping to fund. Yeah, but the past couple of years have shaken things up. The Chinese Web3 market faced some serious crackdowns from the government. It went cold in no time. Lots of projects had chosen to leave China. Some tried to Southeast Asia, others Europe, the Middle East, or the Americas. For a while, my social media was filled with industry folks, global charting, attending the conferences and chasing opportunities. Everyone started off super pumped, but gradually I could feel that they were exhausted. After a bit over a year, many funds themselves draw back to Asia or places close to China, breaking into because breaking into the markets in Middle East, Europe, or Americas is extremely difficult, with the language and culture background barriers making localizing super tough. So right now the well-resourced the projects are setting their headquarters in Singapore, making it their base to tap into Asia and even Middle East. Some went to Thailand or Vietnam, etc. Some are still staying in China mainland, but they have to be low key. Yeah, but really the good news is Hong Kong, as Chinese the window to the Web3 has given Web3 guys a temporary landing spot targeting the Chinese market. It's hard to predict what will happen in the future, but it's an option for now. The Hong Kong government is rolling out some sweet incentives for the Web3 folks. So I think it's a good time to grab whatever perks are on offer during this window of opportunity. So yeah, that's what I want to share.
So Jerry, did you receive some support from Singapore government or any Hong Kong?
Yes, Singapore, no, for Hong Kong, not yet, but the Singapore government, yes, we have contact with them and discuss some fintech stuff, because we are a payments network and we can help them to optimize the financial system. Yeah, so we have not directly not support directly, but we have a connection with them.
Do you think it's very easy for your project to explore the market in Asia? Your community member or your other traffic something?
Yes, we specialize in we specialize in Chinese community. If the net market is a Chinese community, Chinese market, that is easier for us. But if that market is English speaking market or English speaking community, we have to find a way to communicate with them. In different places has a different culture. Not only the Singapore, but also the Malaysia, Thailand, or Vietnam, etc. So we have to find a way to communicate with them and express who we are and what we do, and let them know we can do some we can optimize or give them some benefit. Yeah, like that.
Okay. Thank you. Next, DMAC. We know that Arweave have a very strong community in Asia, also globally. So maybe could you tell us what's your opinion about what do you think about the Web3 statue in Asia?
Hey, Elaine, do you mind if I go next? DMAC, do you mind? I have to drop off at 10:30 for another meeting.
Yeah, so maybe Matt, you can go first. Yeah.
Okay, so I think, yeah, Asia is hugely important for blockchain development. Of course, we have developers in mainland China. We're based in Singapore, though. There's a huge base of support with both within the mainland and Hong Kong. Hong Kong has recently opened up. I think that Jerry expressed it very well, and it's sort of that window into China, if you will. They've held conferences there. They most recently had a conference there. Singapore also had Token 2049 in August, which I attended, and was well attended by pretty much everyone in cryptocurrency. I think it's also pertinent to say that Asia has a huge growing middle class. I know it was mentioned that there's 4 billion people, but also the middle class is just huge, and they're all tech forward. They're used to making payments with some type of electronic currency, whether it be the people of China with Alipay or WeChat Pay, or the people of Hong Kong just with Apple Pay. So I think that if you're not incorporating Asia into your future plans for the growth of your project, then you're missing out hugely. Even though the regulatory requirements aren't clear in many places, it hasn't stopped the masses from investing in this. A lot of places in Asia have depreciating currencies, and people want to sort of get away from that depreciation as well and hedge with Bitcoin and Ethereum and assets like this. So, and there's also just a huge class of developers coming from Asia that if you're not letting them build upon your project, you're missing out on some serious functionality, and that functionality would then bring more users to your platform, whatever that platform may be. So you really need to incorporate Asia into all your future plans if you're a builder. I think otherwise you're just missing a huge swath of the world population. And just want to say that I think cryptocurrency is a living thing now, and it's out of the control and purview of any one government. It's not something that they could shut down, even if they all came and wanted to.
I think it's the right. Oh yeah, it's the ZK project, right? Taco.
Yeah, it's a middleware between Lens and like other application layers like Lenster and Favor and Orb. So basically, it can connect through smart contract functionality any type of advertiser or promotion, or even if you just want like say you're a big fan of Blackpink, and Blackpink is on Lens, and you want them to do a promotion for your birthday. On Taco, you could directly send them like 1,000 Matic and say, can you please like send this post for my birthday wish? And then they could go ahead and send it, accept your offer of 1,000 Matic, and it would automatically send that post like, happy birthday, Elaine from Blackpink. And that's pretty much the smart contract functionality of Taco on Lens. It's not something that is currently possible on a centralized social media like Instagram or Twitter, right? But on decentralized social media that is composable with the blockchain, you can have this sort of advertiser meets influencer in a trustless way, smart contract functionality, and that's what we envision for the future.
Okay, so as for, because you are taking charge of the community, so what's the difference, maybe Asian community members and with other global community member, what's their different way, and how you achieve your like go-to-market strategy with these two different community areas of the community? What do you think their character of, especially for the Asian community members?
Well, I think right now, from the community perspective, we're focusing on 2 languages, English and Mandarin Chinese. So that means strategic partnerships with 2 different types of media. We've already reached strategic partnership with Blockbit, I think they're called, which is like #1 Chinese crypto media, and we're looking for another English media partner, strategic partner to align with us, not just by like a basket of articles and go from there. We actually want whatever media partner we choose to actually invest in our project. And so I think we'd have to, that's where we'll start, and we can go out from there with perhaps Vietnamese or some other language of community manager. But these are the first two swaths of Web3 users that we're targeting. And of course, it's within a limited pool, because currently our project, it's only compatible with Lens. It will be compatible with Farcaster in the future, but we're targeting these two language speakers within Lens protocol, basically, currently.
Okay. So, what do you think? Maybe, what do you need to improve in developing the Web3 ecosystem in Asia? Do you have any advice for other projects?
I would say, yeah, well, you need people to onboard the Asian community that understand the Asian community, and that's why we have people that we've hired in Singapore. We have people that we hired in China, and also create a UI UX that's super functional on Web3 social. It's quite early in Web3 social, and I don't know if you guys have used Lens, but there is definitely a learning curve and an onboarding curve for people that haven't used it before. And you need a guide, like video guide, take them through it step by step. Even with tech forward Asian communities, if the UI UX it provides a lot of friction, then they'll just be like, it's probably not worth it. Even if there's a financial incentive, as there is with our product.
Okay, nice. So, Matt, if you have anything you need to go for our next meeting, yeah, you can get off. And if you have any other things you want to share with us.
No, yeah, I've got 5 minutes. I'll hand it over to DMAC. I'm sorry, DMAC. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
So I mean,
No,
for the tackle, I know you're doing the social middleware. So, for the Asian market nowadays, we are very actively trying to find some social applications, especially for example, before there's a friend tech. So before so many Chinese
Oh,
KOL
right.
or Asian,
Yeah, so
so
Taco is one of our
how you
products.
expand? Yeah, how you expand your like Asian or other markets? Yeah.
Okay, so our narrative is basically this. The way the DeFi market expanded is the way the social market is going to expand. So right, first we had Uniswap, then we had Uniswap copies, and they all had governance tokens, just like Uniswap. And now we have Friendtech, but Friendtech isn't composable with Web3. Those keys, like they're not necessarily investable assets. If they were, then they would be under like the purview of the SEC. So Friendtech is based upon Twitter, and that provides lots of limitations for where Friendtech can go. But with Lens and Farcaster, these are actually DeFi composable protocols. So just like there was an ERC20 push within DeFi, and just like there was an NFT push, seemingly also within DeFi, we foresee a totally new asset class being born within DeFi, and I'm tentatively calling these assets dynamic social tokens, because they're so volatile and they depend largely upon like the fan base that a creator, influencer, or curator has maintained, and that's sort of our narrative, not only for the Asian community, but the entire Lens community. And so we're trying to build infrastructure and a marketplace for these new dynamic social tokens. And we've also built like the friend tech of Polygon, which is Jam Friends. We're not just Taco Protocol. Taco Protocol is just one of our our products. The other is Jam Friends, which is it's a SocialFi protocol built upon Lens's social graph and Polygon's unique payment infrastructure. So yeah, just building upon that.
Okay. Thank you, Matt, for your advice and for your opinions, insights. Very interesting and very respect. So maybe we will invite DMAC. So yeah, as I mentioned, Arweave also have strong community members in Asia, also globally. So could you maybe introduce more about what's your opinion about Asian market? Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, Asia has long, and specifically China, has long been a powerhouse in mining cryptocurrencies and mining blockchains. And a lot of hash power or contribution to mining has come from China traditionally, and Arweave is no exception. There's always been a strong mining community, mining presence in China, but in the last couple of years, and I would attribute a lot of this to the efforts of Evervision. There's been an increasing amount of user-facing applications and infrastructure built on top of Arweave within Asia. And as a result, we've seen more and more investment going into these types of projects. I was able to attend Arweave Day in Asia in Singapore recently, and the projects that were being demoed there by teams were innovative. They were fascinating. There was lots of interesting things going on, especially with regards to social. Some of the big themes in social right now, there's AI that's impacting content creation with generative content, and also the ability to create counterfeit content. And that seems something that blockchains, and specifically Arweave, are well positioned to address, because you can store everything from a single tweet to an 8-hour-long movie on Arweave, and you can attach metadata to that content that proves it was generated by you, by your wallet, when it was created. And along with that, a rising theme on Arweave is this concept of real world rights. So what that means is there is in the world, there's copyright, and copyright has a bunch of different rights that it gives the creator or the holder of the copyright. And it says, you can allow people to use this work or not. You can allow them to use it commercially or not. You can allow them to do derivative rights or not. And increasingly, some of the rights around data is like, you can actually say whether you want the data to be used for training AI or not. And what's happening on Arweave is these data rights are being associated with the data itself. So as users are posting data to Arweave, they're able to attach these rights and actually receive royalty payments for commercial use or derivative use and stuff like that. And so what we're starting to see is a lot of the social applications being built on Arweave or storing their content on Arweave are starting to tap into these real world rights and allow content creators to earn revenue streams from license fees or licensing their copyright.
Okay. So what do you think do you think it will have the problem with the US like compliance problem in the future?
Arweave specifically, or real world rights?
Yeah, Arweave.
I mean, every blockchain needs to be able to deal with the fact that at some point there may be policy or regulation that's leveled against it. Very different political climates around the world have, as you know, different approaches to how they feel about decentralization and blockchain. China has been, like I mentioned, a powerhouse in mining, but it seems to go through this cycle where every now and then the government cracks down on mining, and miners have to leave the area, but yet mining still survives. And so what really benefits Arweave in this area is that it is completely decentralized. It is proof of work. Anyone can participate in the network, anyone can run the Arweave mining software if they have the storage space to do it. And that means that if any one political environment is aggressive or hostile towards Arweave and the miners have to move, they can start up in any other area on Earth without any kind of permission or needing to check in with any kind of business that's regulated.
Okay. So, how about could you maybe introduce more about Arweave's this year's events, which was happened in Asian area? What did you guys do, and maybe to expand the Asian's market?
Yeah. Well, interestingly, Arweave Day in Asia actually originated 2 years ago now in Singapore, largely hosted by Evervision and the Arweave community in Asia. And it was such a big success, the sense of community, the projects shown off, the conversations that happened, that it became something that actually was imitated in the West. And so at different crypto events like ETH Denver, ETH Lisbon, and a couple others, Arweave community members just started to create Arweave days alongside these events to sort of replicate or what happened in Singapore 2 years ago. And so I was lucky enough to attend Arweave Day in Singapore this year. And it was a fantastic event. Great speakers, great panels. Mostly though, I was really impressed with the consumer applications, the consumer crypto applications that were coming out of the Asian ecosystem. And so, yeah, I would definitely recommend that if you're,
Cool.
yeah.
Sorry, Jerry, what do you want to say? Maybe.
No, I just want to say, Arweave in Berlin. That's another big event.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
what do you think the maybe like Lisbon's vibe with the like Singapore's vibe? What's the difference? What do you think?
That's interesting. Lisbon, yeah, it was a very different venue in Lisbon. And I would say, like, at least for me personally, some of the projects, I felt like there was, I guess, more content or more projects in Singapore. And I was more familiar with the projects that were shown in Lisbon. So it was great to sort of meet and see some of these projects that I was as familiar with and hear a status update. But in the Singapore event, I felt like every project that I was hearing about, the teams that are meeting, I knew some of them, but the vast majority of them were new to me. And it was exciting to see all of the projects that were, many of them were already using the open data license, which is those real world copyrights for content. They were already using that in their applications. And so I was really impressed with, how quickly this technology was being adopted.
Nice. Yeah, yes, because last year I also went to US, Singapore, Hong Kong, for different big events, and also this year. So I feel like Asian market nowadays, most of the projects, and also for the European, the US project, they are moving to the especially for the Singapore and Hong Kong to find more community members. So I think it's very important for the Web3 projects, their strategy switch. So also, okay. So I would like to ask about the Christian's opinions and insights. So I know my network is a ZK and AI infrastructure. So maybe Christian, how did you guys to expand your Asian market? And yeah, I have no network also have the table in the Singapore, right? Token 2049. Yeah. So Christian, I would like to hear your advice.
So our team
Hello?
is
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So our team is distributed like many teams, and I'm based in the States. We have many team members based in mainland China as well as Singapore and some in Europe. It's been really interesting to watch this migration from the States with our current regulatory environment. Some of the leaders here in North America are very publicly moving. They're going to Singapore, they're going to London. Gemini famously opened a London office. A16Z is hosting their accelerator there. So I've been kind of here for the last year watching this and watching certain senators band together and working with the SEC to try to fight crypto, and it's disheartening. But the good thing is that with crypto and the nature of distributed teams, you can take advantage of different regulatory environments. So we've just seen so much more of an embrace in Singapore, particularly. There are state-sponsored organizations in Hong Kong that have reached out to help promote our business. So that's been very promising. Yeah, Token 2049 was easily our biggest event of the year. In terms of attendance, in terms of the side parties, we had a side event, and we ended up having, I think, 5 times as many guests as we thought we were going to have. So it's been so much better received, and so there's a lot of reasons for it. In the West, there's still some. I think they're even stricter toward the regulatory philosophy, and not totally clear what's going to happen. And you also have a less digitally native, I think, population. I think, like was mentioned before, I think Jerry said, or maybe Dan, it was, so many APAC citizens are just used to going through, these apps for everything, whether it's WeChat or whatever. So it's just more intuitive. We still have a large percentage of our population that are sort of Luddites, even in Web 2. So trying to get them into Web 3 is a whole nother issue. The wallet barrier of entry has been a big issue. And that's a problem that a lot of Web 2 brands here are trying to solve. I've worked with companies like Nike and Adidas and Amazon and Shopify, and they're trying to find ways around this wallet situation because they just recognize that a large percentage of Westerners are never going to download MetaMask or the like. So they're trying to find solutions. And what I think is going to emerge is a lot of centralized solutions. Unfortunately. So there seems to be, I think, a deep philosophical understanding coming out of the APAC market, about the importance of decentralization and the importance of digital nativism in building these apps. But yeah, we've had great success this year. A lot of Asian governments that are building CBDCs, for example, are actually open talking with us about adding privacy to them. The large concern about CBDCs is that it offers this incredible oversight tool for governments, and I think people are rightly concerned about that. And it looks like, from the data we're seeing, 93% of central banks have a CBDC in development or plan to launch in the next 12 to 36 months. So they're kind of coming, regardless of whether or not we want them. The best case scenario is that we'd be able to add a privacy layer using fully homomorphic encryption and ZKs. And we've had positive responses to that outbounding in APAC markets, not so much in North American and European markets. So that was a pleasant surprise as well. And then, yeah, I mean, I guess to speak in terms of the, looking at some of the macro information, just, sheer population, like we said, there's so many more people there. And I think there's also there's a gamification piece as well that I think, like, social D apps and a lot of GameFi apps and even DeFi apps can really flourish with. So much more of the APAC community is really interested in the gamification of any app. People like to figure out, how do I kind of hack this system and get paid? How do I figure out how to like game the system? And they like these kind of incentive driven, D apps. So those have taken off, I think, more. When we talk to GameFi and these really great DeFi projects, a lot of them aren't based here, and it's because I think a smaller percentage of the population is as interested or enthusiastic about that. So that's been really cool to see as well.
So my network is trying to solving the on-chain data's privacy problem. But some people, many Web3 people may ask, does the Web3 people really care about the privacy? So what do you think about it?
Yeah, it's a good question, and it does depend. You know, looking at there's a difference in opinion across global markets. I think that we've got the wind at our back in two separate regards. One is that at the beginning of the year we started off with this Twitter files scandal, and finding out that everybody uses Twitter and that Twitter was offering backdoor access to government agencies for censorship. So that story broke, and that was the culmination, I think, of 5 years of stories that started with Cambridge Analytica and Facebook. And so there is a concern around how our data is being used. We see that in Web2 pretty broadly, and I don't think data privacy is, at least in my lifetime, been a very sexy term, but it's as close as it is ever going to be, I think, right now. And then in Web3, you know, if you've been in Web3 for 4, 5, 6, 7 years and you're looking at your wallets, there's an incredible amount of identifying data in there. You know, the DAOs that you participate in signify what causes you care about and what you're interested in. You can make a psychological profile of somebody kind of based on that. You see geolocational data, you see financial transactions. So I think that, you know, right now Web3 is still a little bit siloed and there's not a lot of crossing between Web2 and Web3, but as more big brands enter the space and you can see more on-chain data of people's engagement with larger brands like Starbucks or Nike or some of these bigger brands, people will be even more sensitive to how much of their data says about them, how much it really says about them, and there will be a need to make it private. So, you know, the answer to, like, you know, do Web3 people care about privacy? It's like, I think it's increasingly yes. And as it starts to break out, you know, into taking over more of our digital experience, I think it absolutely will be a concern for most people. So, and you know, and just to kind of touch on that again, this zero trust framework has really been taking off. You know, FHE, fully homomorphic encryption, which allows what this does, this technology, it's considered the holy grail of cryptography for many years. Vitalik has written about it. A lot of prominent cryptographers have written about it. It allows for third-party computation to be performed on encrypted data without the need for decryption. So that's a game changer for the internet completely, because if you don't have to worry about decrypting the data ever, you reduce the attack vectors, you reduce the breachability. I mean, it becomes so much more secure. And so this technology is kind of, it's really, we see it as like bigger than ZKs in terms of its use cases. And it's also probably where ZK technology was in like 2020, early 2020. So over the next few years, you'll be hearing about it a lot. And a year ago, there were maybe a handful of companies, and now there are dozens that are starting up in this space with this technology. So it really is the final mile problem for onboarding TradFi into Web3, because they have cross-chain, they're starting to get cross-chain interoperability, but they don't have the security features yet to make the regulators happy. So once we solve that last problem, a ton of liquidity comes into Web3, and a ton of the liquidity that's in Web3 but that's fragmented now gets unleashed, and cross-chain interoperability just becomes the standard. And the steps to go from Bitcoin to Avalanche or whatever the chain is, from whatever chain, even public to private and vice versa, become significantly reduced. So that will manifest into really easy UX, and I think that will manifest into onboarding the next billion users.
Question for you, Christian. When you guys go to market, do you lead with privacy or security?
That's a good question.
You mean for the investor? Oh, sorry, Christian.
Yeah, we led with privacy, and as we started to partner with institutions that are working directly with regulators, it's better to focus on the security, which the security improvements are far and away much better than the existing standards. So we're helping to rewrite security standards, but the privacy feature is core as well and is necessary. But we have to be mindful of being, lumped in the same bucket as Monero or Zcash. Regulators all know them and don't like those. So we've had to be careful, because that's not what we're doing. We do have a partnership with Chain Analysis. If bad actors are on the network, they have to be able to be identified and accountable. So that is in there, that process is available, but we just want that process to be a lot more difficult than it currently is. Right now, it's currently very easy to find anybody,
good, bad, or indifferent.
Mhm. Nice. So maybe have one more question, last question for three speakers here. So as we all know, this year AI is be a very hot topic. So what's the AI applied in your projects, or what's your opinion about AI? Maybe how to apply in the Web3? Yeah, maybe Jerry, you can go first. Yeah, you mute yourself. Hi, Jerry, you mute yourself.
Sorry.
Mhm.
About AI for the
Yeah,
project.
AI,
Okay.
how to apply in your ever vision, or what do you think? How to combine with Web3?
Okay. About AI, we don't have a plan to integrate AI into our product. You know, our product is the first co-product is Apple Pay as a payment network, and second is the DEX. So far we don't have a plan to do that on our products. But for about Web3, I now I just want to discuss about I just want to share my thoughts about Web3, because several times a lot of people are discussing what is Web3. And in my view, I think that the Web3 is not the opposition or isolation ecosystem or system from the Web2. I think they are the same things, because the name of Web3 is based on the Web2. So the Web3 is upgrades of the Web2. And the blockchain technology, crypto stuff, I think it's not the whole things of Web3. It's part of Web3, and the Web3. I think in the future the Web3 must looks like Web2 plus crypto or blockchain technology plus AI plus AR, VR, or the 6G, etc. So that is Web3. So I think in the future, if we want to make the Web3 can achieve the mass adoption and in the whole industry or in the community, the AI can help the Web3 to do a lot of things. But related to this topic, I don't have more things
No worries.
can share.
Thank you. Thank you for Jerry's opinion. How about Dimac?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say that this is my personal opinion with AI and decentralization or blockchains. The way I look at it as this is that actually these are on different ends. The technologies are on different ends of a spectrum. So when I look at AI, I see a technology that asks you to give away your responsibility. So when you interact with AI, it says, hey, let me generate this content, or let me find this information for you, or let me do something for you. And it's very, very good at it. And it is a big increase in efficiency. But ultimately, you're delegating to the technology. You're giving away your responsibility and just saying, okay, let the AI take care of it. And on the other end of the spectrum, you have decentralization, like things with no center, that pushes responsibility to the edges of the network. And so what blockchains do and what decentralization does is it asks users to take responsibility, and then AI asks you to give it away. And so for me, like, something really powerful about decentralization and blockchains is this ability to give individuals rights. So for example, on Arweave, in the USA, for example, there's the freedom of speech is one of the constitutional rights, but not all areas of the world have access to, not all governments in the world give their citizens those rights. But what Arweave does is it gives a version of speech in cyberspace it gives a version of that to anyone who uses Arweave. And what that does is it moves something like a human right that was in the political domain, and it moves it into the domain of technology. You know, something that once could only be offered by governments, now a version of that can actually be created and offered to humanity through technology. And that's an incredibly powerful thing that a blockchain like Arweave can give the rights to people in the world. Now, there's a lot of really interesting technology that's happening where people are trying to mix blockchains and AI and sort of have that empowering individual rights, and then using that to sort of constrain how much AI can, I guess, exploit people, because a real issue with AI is that at a large enough scale, it can actually be used to manipulate individuals or populations. And so that's a potential downside, along with the obvious upsides of AI. And so sometimes merging those two things could produce AI that's aligned with human rights.
Thank you for your DMAX for your insights. Yeah, I know Arweave is like so many decentralized dApp. Like our also one of our portfolio also deploy on the Arweave for the decentralized data. So it's very useful. I think in the future data will be like amount of the data in the future. So how to like decentralize the like storage will be a huge problem. Yeah. How about Christian? Do you have an yeah, I know a network already be AI and Web3, so you have more opinion, I think, about this.
We're focused
topic.
on we're focused on AI as well, and I want to say DMAC makes a really wonderful point, which is through this technology we can start to enable human rights that we've had to rely historically on governments for providing. Governments which work for people, by the way, are supposed to. So this is a really cool period in time, because the standards that we set could enable rights to people across the globe that have never been this prolific before. I think it's really, really, you know, we're setting that level, those standards and those protocols now, which is really exciting. And so specifically when it comes to AI, we're looking at the front end of AI and the back end of AI. So our product, again, is Zero Trust. So on the front end, you know, we launched MindX, which is basically a ChatGPT dApp. So this allows you to own your chat history. So when you're chatting with ChatGPT, instead of just giving all that information to ChatGPT so they can enrich their model, you're actually storing it. You can store on your local computer. You can encrypt it, and you can either keep the plain text or the ciphertext. And the idea is that this capability will then allow you to take these chat histories and go to any bot. So we want, instead of there just being a few chat bots that everybody uses and a few image generators that everyone uses, like there are hundreds or thousands. So we don't want there to be too much power aggregated in the app provider, which would just be an extension of Web2, right? We want there to be all of these apps working for the individual users, so that you can bring this encrypted data into a chat, so it already knows you. You don't have to spend 15 minutes prompting it to answer you the way that you'd like. And then of course the prompting itself, how you get the bot to give you the answer that you want, is also IP, right? That should be proprietary data too. There are prompt markets coming up everywhere, like with FlowGPT. So there's value there as well. So on the front side, we're helping protect that data, encrypt that data. Then on the back side, you have this concept of like, well, who gets to decide what the truth is that these bots are using? You know, the data that's being fed to them to train the models. Where does that database come from? Who gets to decide that? Well, right now it's OpenAI and it's Google and it's Microsoft. What if, you know, if we decentralize the backend and we have nodes contributing to this, now you get to decentralize essentially what truth is. So, you know, this sounds kind of philosophical from, I think, a citizen point of view. We obviously want that. Is there a motivation for companies to do that? And the answer is yes. So Microsoft's head of their GM of AI has already said, you know, we don't want a product that seems really politically biased or religiously biased or social biased, because that will limit our market penetration potentially. So they do want a decentralized backend, and they're investigating having a decentralized backend for their AI. So there's two different areas that I look at that you can work on, and so my network is working in both areas.
Okay, thank you guys. Yeah, we already spent like almost 1 hour. It's almost hour. Yeah, time fly fast. So yeah, thank you for all the guest speakers here to share your insights. Yeah, it's very mindful, and yeah. So maybe every one speaker say last sentence to all the audience here. Yeah, maybe Jerry to finish today's panel. Maybe Jerry, yeah. Do you have
Okay,
any else to share? Yeah.
Share what?
Just
What else?
anything you want to. Yeah. For example, your future plan or your ever vision.
Okay.
To. Yeah.
Okay, our vision. Yeah, our vision. Yeah, our vision. So I want to say our co product Everpay again. Because Everpay has don't need the gas fee and don't have a TPS limit. So Everpay can use in we will explore the high frequency and low cost scenario. And I think this is the most important things for the whole industry, because now in this in Web3 industry, don't have high frequency and low cost applications. So we want to do that things with our partners and open the door for the normal users and help them to onboard to Web3. Maybe in 1 to 2 months, we'll launch new things in the future. So stay tuned. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. And DMAC, do you have anything else you want to share in the end of our panel?
Yeah, I think that Arweave's ability to provide provenance for data and store data on chain is the foundation of many of the things that we're talking about today. The ability to have indexed metadata alongside on-chain data so that it's composable, so you can find out the origin and the history and the trail of ownership of custody of data is only going to multiply in its value as the data set grows, as people start training AI on it, as people generate revenue and license fees from those types of things. On-chain data is the sort of the substrate that I think that aligns all of these exciting new areas with individuals globally.
Okay, thank you, Christian. How about Matt? Oh, sorry. Thank you, DMAC. How about, thank you for DMAC and Christian. Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited for Arweave's potential with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is popping right now. We're all trying to figure out why and price, but you can follow our My Network on mynetwork.xyz on Twitter, Medium, Discord, LinkedIn, Telegram, and we'll be launching more news about our partnership together.
Okay, thank you, guys. Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you for you all. And next, we will turn to the panel 2.
Hey, Sam.
And the panel will hosted by DMAC.